Now, this is actually pretty hilarious because David Doel of the Rational National got completely roasted for going to brunch. So what happened was Pramila Jayapal, and this is a big debate as to the Justice Democrats seem to be giving Joe Biden a lot of leeway, and a lot of people are pissed off and want them to challenge more. And so there's kind of a big debate revolving around that. And so Pramila Jayapal gave Joe Biden an A and said he's exceeded expectations, which is really, really shocking for Pramila Jayapal to say, because she's actually the spearheader of most progressive issues. She wrote the Medicare for All bill in the House version. And she was fighting with Nancy Pelosi, like on phone calls, on these big phone calls with a bunch of people on them. So that was a pretty big deal. And so David Doel says progressive lawmakers appear to be kissing Biden's ass in an attempt to win him over, similar to what those around Trump did. Problem is, conservative Dems and corporate donors are doing the same. So success using this strategy alone will be limited. They need to flex power. So he's offering an analysis as to what's going on here from the Justice Democrats, and his conclusion is this is a strategy that is not going to be functional, and so he's proposing another alternative means to getting what they want, which is to flex their power and to basically threaten them. Remember that the Progressive Caucus, the Congressional Progressive Caucus, you only really need like 10 or 20 members who are really hardcore down to vote anything down to stop any legislation, presuming there's no Republicans supporting the bill. Because the margin of the majority is so small, you only really need 10 or 20 people to be like, fuck no, I'm not voting for that shit. And then Nancy Pelosi has to come to the bargaining table and change the bill for them to vote for it. So that, that's definitely some power they can flex. Now, this guy, Ryan Knight, you probably remember this guy. This is a guy who went from being an Elizabeth Warren supporter. I think before that he was a Hillary supporter. So he went from Hillary to like Elizabeth Warren to Bernie Sanders. And now you can see the hammer and sickle on his name. And I guess now he's just a socialist, communist. I'm not really sure how you make that big of an ideological shift that fast. It's like, I don't know if that's faster than... I mean, he's covered more of the political spectrum than Dave Rubin has in that time span. I'm not really sure. It's pretty fast, which really makes me question the authenticity of what he's saying. He's full anti-capitalist now. He says, and you continue to kiss progressive lawmakers' ass despite the fact that they continue to run cover for the right-wing Democratic Party. So this is a comment that sounds like borderline schizophrenic because, he's criticizing the strategy of the progressive lawmakers in this tweet, so it almost seems like a non sequitur. It's not like he's saying that, they are corrupt or they're stupid. He's analyzing what their strategy is and basically coming to the conclusion, hey, dog, this strategy doesn't work. It's not going to work, so here's another strategy to do. The only way this would be some kind of, like, serious response would be if David Doel were to have sent out a tweet saying, the Justice Democrats are corrupt sellouts. Then it'd be like, okay, this would logically make sense to follow, because then he's calling them out on what their, motives are, or really their central values, and he had been quote-unquote, running cover. I'm not really sure what that means. And honestly, when it comes to David Doel, I'm not sure how unequivocal he is in his support for the Justice Democrats. You do got to remember, the Justice Democrats is all we have, guys. So I know you get frustrated, but here's my question to you. If you don't have the Justice Democrats, if you don't have these people, you throw those people in the garbage, what the fuck do you have? What is your other option? You created the Justice Democrats to be the progressives to primary the corporate Democrats. If they are now corporate Democrats, what are you going to do? There's literally nothing you can do. People are even turning on Nina Turner now. So at this point, it's just like this crazy, circular firing squad, and it's just like, wow, I don't even know what you could do. What else is there left? I mean, you're going to create a new party in a presidential system. Do you know how stupid that is? The idea of a third party in a presidential system. If any of you take political science, you know how fucking difficult that is? A two-party system to build up a new party. Any other country that has multiple parties, they have parliamentary systems. So it's easier to do. It's actually possible to do that. We don't have a parliamentary system. We're in a presidential system. So that's even dumber, because you're going to get even less done. Now, there obviously were a lot of people who were defending David here. And so there were a lot of progressives defending David here, but this response was absolutely hilarious. It says, "I've said this multiple times that Doel is a squad stan. I have never seen him do one simple critique of any of them." I think he just did a critique right there. I think he was criticizing their strategy and saying, hey, constructive criticism. He analyzed what their strategy was and said, I don't think this strategy is effective. Here's another strategy you should utilize. That's what it looked like to me. So I'm pretty sure the tweet you're responding to is a critique. And then this guy, unironically, he sends tweets saying he won't. He already went back to brunch. And so I think this is a picture David Doel sent out as a joke after Trump lost, because there's the whole joke about liberals wanting to go back to brunch while, obviously progressives are really concerned about the healthcare system killing 40,000 people because they don't have basic health insurance, innocent people being killed in overseas wars. But liberals just want to get back to brunch, He sent this out. This might have been a mistake to send out, even as a joke, if I'm David, to be quite frank with you, because he's going to see this a lot, okay? He's going to see this a lot. I think I saw lunatic Nino House. I'm not sure I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 99% sure Nino House unironically made a joke about this. And so that Tulcel, like, lunatic fringe uses this all the time as like, oh, hey, he's a liberal who just wants to go to brunch and eat tater tots and what appears to be, I think that's an omelet. I don't know if that's an omelet and like tater tots. But this is an unironic tweet. And David Doel, man, if I'm David Doel, I'm pretty pissed that I even sent that out, because, man, he's gonna be memed to death with this. He's gonna see that a lot for the next coming years. 20 years from now, you may even see this. But there were some people who were shitting on him, of course. But there were also a lot of people who were defending him on this one. This one says, Ryan is correct. I used to be a loyal viewer on YouTube. It saddens me to cringe each time you do this, so I infrequently watch anymore. That kind of thing happens. Obviously you're going to lose a lot of viewers, but typically what's going to happen is some of the more, further left-wing people are going to get mad if you kind of aren't super fringely in that area and you start to kind of branch out. But I think David Doel is going to be able to sort of have a bigger audience, essentially, that can hopefully bring in more progressives to progressive causes. But yeah, if I'm David Doel, man, I don't know how happy I am about that brunch picture, because, man, this guy's going to be memed with that. He's going to be memed to death with that, going to brunch. But yeah, David Doel getting called out by Ryan Knight. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Ryan Knight, because I have to tell you, going from Hillary to Warren to Bernie to now full-on anti-capitalist, full socialist, hammer sickle. I don't know, it just doesn't seem authentic to me. It just seems too extreme in such a short time span. It's hard for me to believe that it's really an authentic change. So I'm really questioning that, but I have no idea. Maybe he's just mentally insane. I don't know. I think there's a lot of mentally deranged people online. And then, people build a following and they're mentally deranged, but, they built a following, so that's what they do. So, I don't know. You let me know your thoughts down below.